So good morning and welcome back. It is the next morning and it is pretty early. It's just gotten light. It's a bit cloudy and grumpy looking over there, but up here there is plenty of blue sky and the weather forecast for today is excellent and sunny. So was a bit windy overnight. I could hear the tarp flapping away. But it's held. It's come undone down at the bottom there, as you can see it's flapping about. But I can unhook it now and whip it over the top and get on with some serious roofing. Hopefully get quite a lot done today and it'll look a little bit different this evening than it does this morning. Okay, well, the weather's picking up. It looks pretty grim over there. Hopefully that won't come this way. It shouldn't do, not according to the weather forecast. That's pretty good. A lot of you said put more stones in. There are in fact quite a few stones in there, but you probably couldn't see them there. Some of them are hidden. That's not all just cement. And then I did kind of keep going up a bit. So that's definitely well on the way to set. I think by this evening it'll be completely set, but that's not going to hold us back. So I'm going to go and get a tape measure and I'm going to start measuring, because these 4-metre beams, although they're long enough for the backside and for over there, they're not long enough for here because obviously the roof isn't square or straight. So I'm going to have to recoup some of the old beams which are down here, which should be plenty long enough. So I'm going to go and get a tape measure and start measuring that up. It is a bit windy today, as you can see in here. But hopefully that'll calm down by this afternoon as well. So the first thing I want to do is basically get that first beam set and lined up, because we'll be going from there, then parallel across the wall, and then when we get to there, we'll be able to set up something for me to fill with cement and stones. Okay, so even the longest bit of wood I have, which is this bit here, isn't long enough for this edge, and that's mostly because the first 2 rows of tiles here were just cemented straight on, but I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do, because I can't find anywhere useful longer bits of wood than 4 meters, and I wouldn't be able to transport them, and it would be, with the prices at the moment, exorbitantly expensive. So what I'm going to do is I think that there won't be too much weight here on this last little bit, on this overhang, because it's just the last row of tiles which will sit the top edge of it. Let me get a tile, and this one is bust. But the last tile will hang about there, and then the tile above that, which this is going to be, which will be hooked onto this and holding it in place, will already be above this beam. So it's just literally the last tile, and as we go across it will become less and less of a problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slot this up here, across there and up here, and then have an extension and put 2 bolts through there into the cement, and that will hold it, I think, perfectly well. So I'm going to go and get a pencil and a circular saw, and then we shall start making up this first beam and then bolting it into place. That's going to be our starting point for today. There we go. This is what it's going to look like in the end. So that's feathered in. I'm going to put a couple of bolts through there, bolt at the top. The top is now set so that it'll meet the other one. I just need to shift it up into the middle, and here we're pretty good. And then the last, so there'll be lats all the way down to hold the tiles. The last one will be more of a plank. The tile will sit on there, and then we have a drop which has the metal that runs the water into the gutter, and this allows plenty of aeration underneath the roof, which is very important to stop it going mouldy, apparently. So that's pretty good. Quite happy with that. So I'm going to fix it into place. Okay, well, while I've been setting all of this up, it looks and feels like the weather's closing in. According to my iPhone, it's not going to, but it's very dramatic, very pretty. But I don't want it to rain. Really don't want it to rain now. But there we go. You can't change it, can you? So here's hoping. I'm going to get a shift on and get at least this first one bolted down. So I've got these big bolts, and they'll be going through into well, obviously into dowels there and straight into the wood up here. So that should hopefully hold it together for another couple of 100 years. But that's probably very, very optimistic the way I build things. Still, yes, it looks amazing. Let me turn the camera around. Look at that. You can see the sun coming through and just lighting up little villages. But it does seem to have gotten pretty grumpy. There's a bit of blue there all the way around. And it looks a lot like it's raining quite heavily over there in Gondola. Still, we shall see, we shall see. Well, literally just as I put that middle bolt in, and this is now never going to go anywhere. One more bolt at the top. And that actually sits very nicely there. I think I might need to trim the edge. But that's not a problem. Just run over that with a saw. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to check the weather forecast and see if this is going to hold, if this means I need to bash up again and cover with the top, or if it'll just pass in a minute or two. Oh, how annoying is this? Such a good start this morning. Well, there's a reason everything around here is so green, and it's because it incessantly rains. But there we go. I've got the tarp back on it, and I'm going to do the only reasonable thing left to be done. I'm going to go and have a coffee. So, well, a coffee and a gossip later. As you can see, it's starting to clear up. It is still drizzling. So what I'm going to do is have a very early lunch. It's 11 o'clock, and then I can spend all afternoon, because the sun will come out. Apparently, this is what everyone has been telling me, and the iPhone weather forecast says the same thing. So then I want to get all of those beams set today. Okay, well, it's pretty windy, but it looks more or less like it's stopped. You can see this. The wind is wearing some big holes in this, so I don't want to leave it on here for much longer. But we're getting there, so I'm going to unhook it, and then we'll start bolting down some beams. So I'm going to have to measure everything first, and then we should be pretty good. This is where it's supposed to be. Excellent. Okay, well, as promised, the sun is back. As our first beam is set over there, now it's time for me to pretend that I know how to do maths. Put the last beam where it needs to sit, and then measure across and get nice, evenly spaced beams all the way across the roof. That is the plan. So I want somewhere between 50 and 60 centimeters between the beams, which should be the load that the lats or the slats that the tiles will sit on will be able to hold. So I'll have to just measure across, and then we'll see how close we get, somewhere between 50 and 60. Okay, so from there to this one here, which is going to be parallel to there, and we'll have another one that goes from nothing up to that at the top, which compensates the fact that this wall is not parallel to that wall. Ciao. We're going to get 50 centimeters between, well, 49 centimeters between each beam. So I'm going to cut a piece of wood at 49 centimeters, and then mark it all up. Okay, and there's the second one in. Again, missing the bolt at the top, but I'll do all of those together in one last go. I'll just climb up there and drill and bolt along. But we got 49 centimeters, my little measuring stick. So that's excellent. And we just need to move along. Yeah, everything is flush and straight and pretty good. So I'm quite happy with that, actually, to be honest. Yeah, and the sun has done what it was supposed to do. So excellent, 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 excellent. Yeah, I'm going to basically just keep tearing along until we get to the other side. At which point I can then, with all of these stones and some concrete, build up something nice there by laying a couple of small bits of wood across and making like a little sort of a I don't know what they're called in English. Coffrage is the French word. Certain words only come to me in certain languages. So like a shell to fill with concrete, and then this whole side will be ready for roofing, which is excellent. Excellent. Really, really happy with this morning. It's just a shame about that 20 minutes of rain. So time to get another beam lined up and chopped. You have it. Here is my roof. The last one you see didn't need an extension. And on the other side they don't need extensions, but they're all perfect. This one hasn't been put in yet. This one is going to be the final one up against the wall. But I want to build the casing first, so I need to get rid of this muck here. Other than that, it's not so bad. I get rid of some of the dust. I've got the compressor. I'm going to build a casing. I've got lots of stones, and I'm going to get that set up so that tomorrow morning, first thing, because as you can see the sun is about to disappear behind the hill, so that tomorrow morning, first thing, I can start making concrete and building up this bit of wall, so that then we'll have the full roof structure on this side, and then I can put the holders for the guttering in and the baseboard, and then start moving up. And on Monday I can go and buy some lats and then put them on, and once they're on, we're almost done. But this is it's not moving. It's very good, actually. It's very, very secure. The concrete is hardened properly. There is a stone that it's sitting on. It's not directly on the concrete. It shouldn't rot. I hope it doesn't. It's inside. But there we go. So I'm going to tidy up here and start building some sort of shuttering on both sides, probably pushed across from here and then just suspended, because it does have a bit of a kink in it there. See, we've got this wall flush now. I've got metal that comes down here, and I'm going to obviously have to make some sort of kink in the bottom of the metalwork there. But first of all, it's going to be about getting rid of this. Oh, there we go. Good old compressor. Eventually you have to stop. The wind has been helping a bit. There is still a bit of dust, but lots of loose stones that I should be building up, just like I did yesterday with these. You can hear they're pretty good, and there is a little tiny bit of metal in there just to hold the whole thing together. So I want to get basically a shutter as close to there as possible. I'm going to put it on this beam. I'm going to nail something from there to there and then across, and put a plank on the other side, and that'll give me something to fill up. So I'm going to have a go at that now. But first I need more air in the compressor, so I should go and turn that on. Okay, well, there we go. Little plank up the side. So obviously this isn't just to fill out with cement or concrete. I'm going to build the wall up in stone, so that we get a pretty flat top on it, and something for then the end piece to screw into, although it actually screws into the roof more than into the wall. So so there we go. It does stick out a bit, but I think that'll be fine. So all in all, an excellent day's work. Just debating whether or not to climb up to the top and bolt those into the top beam, but I don't think I will tonight. I think that's going to be it for today. The sun is just over the top of that hill. As you can see, the shadows are getting longer and longer. There's me, and there is Casa Pericolo still there. Nothing has changed. She did call just to say that she wanted to come and visit. But you can see the water seeping down into that wall and that gutter dying. So yeah, we'll see what this winter brings. Hopefully pretty dry, and then she can come out in spring and probably decide what to do. Although, as with everything, everyone has their own individual idea of what the value of something is, and while our ideas are quite far apart. But if you just imagined it just plastered all the way around with a nice render, and then sort of painted kind of maybe like that house down there white with a little bit of yellow around the windows or something, just to kind of go from this completely white across to the beige of the house on the other side. I think it could look okay, but there's lots to do, and it's not getting better year after year. So there we go. I'm going to leave it open tonight. It's not going to rain, so I'm now going to head up to the car and get everything that I'm going to need for tomorrow out. That'll save me some time tomorrow morning, and then it'll probably be shower time. So very good. I'm invited out to dinner tonight from one of the guys in the village, and I'll show you what he's cooking. He's been at it for a couple of days, as he always is. He makes the most amazing, delicious food, and I'm looking forward to that immensely. So, one last shot for this evening. Gratuitous view, but also, look at this, a flat and level roof. Haha! I hope it doesn't look too flat and level, because it's not really, although I think most of the roofs here are pretty flat and level. So it'll certainly look different from before we started. So super happy about that. Just ready to get going tomorrow, and I still have another few days. Tomorrow is only Sunday, so if I get all of that up tomorrow, which I think is doable with the front side. Obviously the back side still needs doing, but the back side really isn't bad. If I get all of that done on the front side tomorrow, and get the guttering and everything set up, then on Monday I can go and buy some wood. That would be excellent. So I'll see you all in the morning, or in fact no, I shall see you later at dinner, but I'll just show you what I'm having. Probably won't talk too much. There we go. Look at the beautiful autumn colours. It is a beautiful, beautiful neck of the woods, to be honest. I'm amazed that property is so undervalued here. But there we go. I value my property sentimentally more than you can possibly imagine.
Faccio il bagno, Dio, faccio il bagno.
Frasca l'ha presa da succisa, però. La parte rozza l'ha presa da succisa.
Dottore, mi vuol vicino?
Vabbè, se c'è noi ci può stare.
Ma dove lo mettiamo? No, ce l'ho.
Ah, ce l'hai.
Io ci me lo ricordo.
È un po' infestato.
Porca troia, mi ha dato
So good morning, it's the next morning. The sun is shining, everything is as I left it, so it's looking very good. And I'm just going to go and get some cement, and I'm going to start building up the wall over here. That's what's on the menu for today, so might as well get stuck straight in. Okay, well, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. I've got a hole to fill here as well, a pretty big hole. There's some cement on top. I need to clear out all of that. I'll do that in a minute. Got a bucket of muck and some water to dampen the stones before I put them in. And I have some gloves, because everyone said wear gloves where you're doing cement, which does make a lot of sense. So I'm going to put those on, put this camera on a tripod and get going. So there's the first little chunk done. It looks quite pretty actually. It'll be almost a shame to cover it up at the end, but that's what's going to happen. So yeah, that's not too bad. There's just a whole lot more to do all the way up there. That was one bag, so I probably haven't got enough. Today's Sunday, but that in Italy isn't a problem. I can go and pick up more. I'm going to keep going for a bit and see how far I get with what I have. So there we go. That's two bags of concrete, but it was pretty low there. Still looks good. Quite happy with that. Yeah, just basically keep going. Having said that, I am now going to take a 10-minute break, because all this bending over is doing my back in a bit. So yeah, I'm going to go and take a quick break, and then I should be right back, because there's a lot to do today. So I've had a quick lunch, sun is still shining, and straight back on, get another load of concrete mixed. There we go, most of the way to having filled that hole too. And it's really coming together. It's not perfectly flat, doesn't need to be, but it does need to sort of hit that level. I found a nice big one that I'm going to put up here. Yeah, the sun keeps getting lower and lower. That's winter, but I still have time to make another, at least one, probably two, maybe even 3 bags of muck. So down I go. Well, there goes the sun. And as you can see, I'm about halfway up this wall, so it's taking more time than I had hoped and anticipated. But as we get up to the top, there's much less missing, and I did have to redo all of this, which is now pretty good. It's not the prettiest, but as I've mentioned many times, this is going to be completely doubled, so it just needs to be structurally sound, which it should be. So yeah, another good day. I've run out of concrete anyway, so I'm gonna have to head into town. Let's go once around the valley. It's been blue skies all day today. You wouldn't know it's the end of November, but it's lovely. Okay, well, there we go. You can see it quite well from here. This is my favourite bit of the house. This is, I love this little terrace. So, yeah, tomorrow up bright and early. Going to get some concrete and put all of that together. Once that's together, I'm going to have to leave it to dry. So, it probably makes sense to get going on the other side and get those beams into place as well. That shouldn't take too long because they're much shorter and they sit on all of the different bits much better. So that shouldn't be too dramatic. Yeah. So there we go. Another busy day. I was pretty tired today actually, but still got a fair bit done. So I hope I've answered some of the questions that came up in the comments from the video from the day before yesterday, and if there are any others, then pop them in and I will try and answer them. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy these videos, do subscribe. I see that more than 50% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, so if you do subscribe, it will certainly help me along the way later on. I might get someone to give me some tools or something, which would be nice, and they always look at the number of subscriptions that you have. Other than that, I hope you're all well. Things are heading very quickly towards Christmas time now, which is a busy but lovely time for families. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are. But I still have a lot to do before Christmas. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're well. Take care, and bye-bye for now.